What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning to Out Loud with Ashley B,
Your girl Tashara Montana.
where we will be out loud with all the things we didn't get to say,
All the things we want to say,
and the things that we're gonna say. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? As y'all see, we have a very special guest in the building. This is my girl, Wendy.
Hey.
Wendy, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So I've known Wendy for a few years now. It's been what? About three
or 4.
Yeah. Dang, it went
I
by
know.
quick. It went by quick.
2019.
Yeah. It's been a minute. But my girl is a painter, an artist, and I'm so happy to have her on the show. First
and she
of
a
all.
good one, y'all.
Yes, self-taught.
You know
every
I try.
time. Every time somebody's like, I need paintings or I need something in my house, I'm like, let me show you her work. Like all the time, I take them to your Instagram. I swear I do.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yes, definitely. So we're gonna get into some things. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions today, this morning. Nothing like that right now.
Okay,
So,
all right,
yeah.
all right.
Notice how she said right now.
But they already know. Y'all know how I am. But I do want to just show a piece of your work. We're not going to show it all right here, right now, but I just want to give you a little glimpse of some of her artwork that she has done, her paintings. Y'all, so cute. I love that you incorporate texture into your paintings. Like, I absolutely love that.
So dope.
Thank
It
you.
is very
So
dope.
dope.
And, you know, I've reached out to you, which I still need to get everything going, but I want you to paint a portrait of Bella, kind of like.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, the tutus.
Isn't this
that I
cute?
do.
What is this called? A print? Is this
So
like
this is a 3D print.
a 3D print? Okay.
So it's it has the mixed media portion of it. So it's not just a flat print. It's 2-dimensional.
I love that. So does it come?
Words, y'all, I don't even know what mixed media means.
Well, listen, I'm a self-taught artist, so for a long time, this is the kind of work I did, but I didn't even know what category, like the type of artist my work fell into.
You just knew.
So,
I'm drawing. I'm painting.
I just knew. I mean, I went to school for like 5 seconds, and you know, couldn't afford to stay in the school, but I've always just taught myself trial and error. And for a long time, everybody was like, "Oh, they kept saying like, oh, you're a virtual artist, or a visual artist, mixed media." And I was like, "Mixed media?" And he was like, "Yeah, because you put stuff on your paintings and stuff." I was like, "Well, that's what I am then."
That's it. That's the word right there.
So is this like a 3D as well?
Yes, anything that has any kind of media mixed on there other than paper is a 3D print.
So do you sell them? Like, would that be in a frame if somebody were to purchase it as well, or is it optional? Or like
it's optional. Most of my prints I do not sell with frames. Most of my artwork I don't sell in frames, just because people can be very picky, and you know, people want to pick out their own framework and
I'll go buy your own.
Yep, different
Ain't got time
pricing
for
and
that.
all that, and so
That's what's up.
yep.
So you had mentioned something about going to school for like 5 seconds or so. You said, right?
Yeah, so first of all, let me just say I was one of those artists that it took a minute for me to find my niche. You know, they say, you know, God blesses you with your gifts and everything, but you have to be the one to believe in that gift. So for many, many years, I've always done art, like even from a kid. Wow. But in my mind, I was going to be a fashion designer.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to be this first fashion merchandiser. I'm being, you know, famous in the fashion world. Nope, didn't happen.
But kind of, because you make T-shirts
clothes
and pillows and
yeah.
stuff like that. Like she prints her artwork
But
on.
no. I was going to be like a runway designer in my mind. That's where I was going. So I applied to college. I wasn't very focused. I've always been a smart kid, but, you know, I wasn't very focused in school. So, you know, I didn't get a lot of the scholarships and things like that. And so I was accepted to all of the art schools, but I couldn't afford to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I can't go. I'm going to do community college. And then I just went off and I was like, I got to work. You know, at 21, I had my first daughter, and I was like, I can't be a starving artist. Like, I have responsibilities. I got to take care of kids. So I've always worked since I was like 15.
Me too.
And this would be my therapy. That's something I would do to relieve stress. Painting, drawing, any type of art, crafty things.
It's
I
always
would
been
do.
a passion, it sounds like.
Yes. Yep. So if it had anything to do with art, I was doing it.
In
So
there.
I was in there. I was making clothes back in the day. I'm going to tell you about an embarrassing moment that I had with one of my good girlfriends. She's going to kill me. But, back in the day, they had the groups, the singing groups. So, we all hung out. And I was like, oh, I'm going to make us some clothes because we was going to this big party.
What happened, Wendy?
Girl, her pants split right down.
Oh!
That was one of them trial and error moments.
She had to be the one to take one for the team.
no, for real. For real.
Oh my god!
This how we test quality control. So,
Yeah, I knew that. I need to double stitch that part.
Oh my gosh, that's
And so-
funny.
Yes, girl. So we done had some times me experimenting with my stuff. Girl, we done came up with clothing lines.
that's the best
Everything.
way though, trial and error.
That's all you can do.
What really? What else can you do?
Well, she was the error. So.
Girl, that's me. I feel like right now, just I want to do so much. There's so many things that I want to do and that I can do. Like I did my custom shirt business, and I still have it. But after a while, it just got boring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even just the boring part. It was more like I'm such a perfectionist. I want to make sure everything's lined up properly, everything looks big enough, or, it takes a long time, and it's not that easy when you're having to physically do it yourself
Yeah, you gotta
versus
put
a
that work
machine.
in. Yep.
Right. And it's not that I don't want to put the work. It's just, it started to get just boring for me.
Well, I tell
So-
people, I mean, like it's when you truly love something, when doing all that work doesn't discourage you or it doesn't become mundane, right? It's like, yeah, I hate this part of it, but I'm not going to give up because I know that all of this is going to pay off. And so if that passion is not there, then maybe that's not what you should be doing. You know what I mean? So you have to do it. It has to mean something to you. And I mean,
This is true.
yeah. If it's, girl, I've had jobs, and it's nothing worse than going to a place of business or doing something that you absolutely hate.
Man. Look, I think we can all relate to that.
Man, it's
I've been to a
literally
couple of
soul
places,
draining.
right?
It is so, it's so, like you just feel like a shell.
Yeah.
I feel like that now.
And it fucks with your psyche. Like, it fucks with your confidence. How you feel about yourself. It makes you sick. Stress will take you out.
Man.
So
Say that
it's
again,
like,
Wendy.
It will take you out. And it's like, you got to find something. And let's be honest, everybody's not going to be able to live out their dreams and do the things that they want to do. But if you ever have that opportunity, you don't let that opportunity pass you. You know what I mean? You take it. And
I agree.
And I get it. I mean, I've had times where I'm like, what the hell? Why am I doing this? Like I'm broke. And then as soon as I say that, a door open and be like, yep, God be like, I got you. Here you go. And it's like, here's my sign. Keep going.
That's what's up. Now, I just want to circle back real quick because I did look a little bit into women in the art world. Now, I was watching because I know you said like you got accepted into all these schools and stuff, but you didn't have the money, and I feel like just period minorities, we always at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
We don't always have the same opportunities, and if we do have opportunities, we have the disadvantage of not having the money to do it.
Right. Or the connections.
Yes,
whatever it may
resources,
be.
all that stuff. But I was looking into this, and it's like there's this place in Florence, and I had the name, but I don't want to chop up the name, so I'm not going to say it, but I'll list it below. There's a place in Florence, Italy. It's a known place where they have nothing but like artwork, self-portraits. There are 1,700 self-portraits in this kind of like art museum thing. Only 7% are women.
Yes.
7% out of all them people.
And then out of that 7%, how many are minorities? So it's rough. And you have to definitely find your niche in this industry, because you can easily be swallowed up. And my thing was I had to find confidence in my work and what I did, because it was not something that I shared with the world. It was something that I did personally for me. And it just so happened that people would be like, oh, yeah, I like that. Can you do one for me? Or, and I'll never forget my stepdad. He was dying from cancer. And he was like, Wendy, I played with you about a lot of things. Because me and my father jokes, even to the day he died, he's telling jokes on his bed. So it's like, but he was like, I know we joke around a lot and stuff, but he was like, but you really need to share your gift. God gave you this gift for a reason. You need to use it. And he was like, promise me, you'll display your work. And I was like, that's some bull crap. I can't believe you asked me to do that. Like, you tripping, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And I was a daddy's girl. So it was like, I went through this whole moment of like, just trying to find myself, and I found it through my artwork. It was like, all right, let me do this. Let me try this. And I'm always one that's like, oh, let me see. Oh, if I do this, if I do that, oh, it's gonna come out. And I was like, that's it. That was my niche and my niche, however you say that word. But it was tough though. It was tough because one, just coming out as an artist, nobody knows you. They don't know your work. You're not a name, and trying to get people to support your passion is rough.
Oh, man,
especially in today's society.
And you would think that it would be the family and friends that do it.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Say it again. Say it again.
No.
Now I'm gonna tell you who's always been, or my sister is like my best friend. She's always had my back, no matter what I want to do, even if she think it's stupid. She gonna do it, right? But a lot of my family did not take me serious. Like at first, they was like, "You might be an artist. Like you don't make no money off of being an artist." I'm like, "On the contrary, yes, you do." So it was like, as I grew within my craft, perfect strangers supported my work before family and friends. It was like they had to see, like, okay, maybe she's serious about it, and now I'm gonna support her.
Yeah,
because. It's different reasons why people don't support. And then Black businesses, period, we don't get the support that we should get all the time. So I had to get out there and hustle. I mean, I was that chick out on the corner painting live on the street.
And this was out in Baltimore?
I started in Baltimore.
She's from Baltimore, by the way.
Yes, thank you. Be more. But I started sharing my work when I was still living in Baltimore.
Okay.
And I have a really good friend of mine, Wild Child DNA. Hey. A bomb ass DJ, and he's well connected. And he was like, "I got an idea for you, Wendy." He was like, I want you to start painting when I DJ, and I have a drummer, right? And I was like, I'm be like Picasso, like, because he paint with Raheem Devon, I was like, oh, you want me to be like him? And I was like, boy, you want me to paint like live in front of people? And he was like, what, you scared? Go call my bluff. No, we gonna do it. So, and
he knew what to say,
right? And it was such a dope experience, and people loved it, like. Painting with the band. And that's how I got my thing. Like, that's me. And everybody's like, oh, she's the live painter. Yeah. She's the one that's always painting on stage. Or, you go to the art show. I'm the person that's painting live at the art show.
Yeah, now they're just they know your face, but now they match your name to face.
And right. And it's the weirdest thing. The first time I was ever out, and I was like, oh, I'm making some progress. I'm sitting out enjoying myself, and the guy came up and was like, hey, you're that artist. You Art by Wendy. And it was so humbling. And I was like, you know me?
I would have been like, oh my gosh. I probably would have been.
Be quiet.
Don't let everybody know I'm here.
That's when you get on the plane. No pictures, please. Like,
I was like, oh, that's so dope. And I'm telling him he dope.
Hold on. This your first ever podcast?
No, it's not. No.
I was like, we had her first.
I know. I'm sorry, Pumpkin.
But this is my friend.
But this
so.
is the best one.
Oh, hey, okay.
Yes.
We'll take that.
We're going to loop that so y'all can hear that twice.
This is the best one.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So she's doing great things, big things. So now she was mentioning, she does paint live. She's at Lava Cantina, right? In the Colony.
In the Colony. For my brothers, Q and Herschel and all of them. What is that? MatureCrowd.com. So they do what's called Neo Soul Sundays, which is beautiful networking event for people of color. And everyone is invited, of course, but it's just such a vibe every first Sunday. I'm there. They're actually there every Sunday, but every first Sunday I'm there and I paint live with the band that performs. And then we auction off the work, and I have artwork available to be purchased, prints. Cool. I know you're gonna kill me. I do have a African American doll line, but I didn't actually bring a doll.
See, I was gonna talk about it when you were talking about fashion, because you got this doll line, okay, African American doll line, and she does all the clothing, everything for the doll. It's a really cute doll.
It's called Believe Me.
There you go. And we'll put all the links down below, her
Y'all
website, everything. So before we continue, I do want to share, and Tashara, I want you to go ahead and put up that other piece of artwork. I absolutely love this.
So this is, and here's another one of my things. I love skaters. Like, I think they're just dope. Yes. And so this is a piece that I did, just to kind of capture that feeling of the skate world. She's sitting down, she lacing up her skates, she's about to go out there and do her thing. And I wanted to incorporate some of the culture in it as well. So the cloth is actually kente cloth, authentic kente cloth, and cool. And we got some little wine bottles as the earrings, which the little wine in there moves and everything. And so
that is dope.
But
the details.
It's one of my favorites.
Right there. I love it. It's the details.
And
baby.
She got a little barcode tattoo and her flower. So
and she got one on her thigh.
Yeah, like
she's sassy, y'all.
Right, because that's how we really look. I mean, we get dolled up, and that's what we do.
Yes, I love it. And I love this. I've seen it on social media.
So this
all of them actually.
Afro Days. This is one of my favorite pieces. This is a 3D piece, and so she got her little shorts on under there too. So this is completely this is a mixed media piece, and one of my signatures is the hair. Yes. Typically, I've added hair to a lot of my pieces, or flowers and butterflies, but. This is one of those days I was just like, I just want to, I felt free. Mm-hmm. And I was like, just remember those days just sitting there and daydreaming and not a care in the world. Mm-hmm. And that's what inspired this piece. 'Cause
I love it.
We're so dope. And so,
I love all this stuff. Like,
thank you.
I'm not even dope. I love it. Absolutely love it.
And I just try to, when I was younger, I didn't see a lot of images of myself, women of color. And if I did, it was just like a washed out image of us. Nothing really realistic that we could identify with. And that's one of my goals, is to create women of color and always have them in such a beautiful light, right? Right. Because you never really realize how much images influence our younger culture and what they see. And how they react to it. And one time I was at one of the shows I had, and the young lady walked up, and I had the dolls out, and she was like, "Mommy, this doll looked like me." And her whole face lit up.
That's so cute.
And it just made me feel so good. I almost cried, because I was
that's
like,
your
"Girl,
mission,
that is
right?
you,
Right, that's your mission.
That is you." And she walked out with so much pride with this doll. And or even like doing custom pieces for people, and I put their face in there.
Oh,
and they're like, "Oh, I'm a princess," and I'm like, "Yeah, girl, you're a princess.
See yourself as such."
And so it's just
I love
so
that,
dope.
Wendy.
It's so dope to see that. And so a lot of people are like, "Why you always draw women? Why not?"
Right.
Listen to, again. Why not? And this remind y'all, this is Women's History Month too.
You know, so I mean, we're powerful, we're beautiful.
I agree.
I celebrate us.
Yeah, did y'all hear what Wendy said?
You want me to say it again?
Yes, girl.
Say it
Say it
again,
again.
Yeah, we're powerful and we're beautiful. So
Period.
there we go. Yep.
Yeah, look, I did wear my shirt today.
Yes.
But I do want to ask you, you know, I gotta get into a little bit more of your personal
Here
life.
you go.
Because, you know, as first of all, a mother, as she said earlier, she has 2 daughters and she does work full time, y'all. She is an artist.
I haven't let go the 9 to 5, but it's getting to the point where it's like I'm gonna have to.
You have to pick a side.
I gotta pick a side. And
that means she's busy and booked. That's what that means. That means everything that you've been working hard for is manifesting and it's coming to, you know, life pretty much.
Yes.
So with being a mother, working a full-time job, painting, because I know this takes a lot of time.
It does.
You know, so you only have 24 hours in a day. How is your dating life? How is that? Your love life? How's that going?
Girl, what love life? I don't have one. It's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. Just trying to find time. And then, you know, my time is limited. So it's like if I'm going to give you my time, it needs to be worth it.
Man, say that again, Wendy.
So-
First, y'all hear this? First of all, Wendy been spitting out some. Say that one more time.
The gems,
Right.
okay?
All day. Say that again for these men.
It's like if I'm going to give you my time, it needs to be worth it. Yeah, because y'all time not the only one that's valuable.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You know?
If I give you my time, it better be worth it.
It needs to be worth it. And I know that's a two-way street. So
Yes.
it's, you know,
Respect my time.
respect my time and I'll respect yours.
Period.
And
Period.
what I run into is like a lot of men is like, hey, I want this independent woman. I want this woman that's got this going on. This
No, they
going.
don't.
But as soon as I'm like, hey, yeah, I can't make it.
It's a problem.
And it's like, what? What you mean you can't make it? Just take some time off. Do I tell you just take some time off from your job?
They got that bad.
I mean, here's my thing. I got to pay bills. So you want me to stop my money to come hang out with you, and I don't mean to sound crazy, but what's the benefit here?
Exactly. Because the minute I ask you for $50 on the light bill, you're gonna be looking at me like I just asked you to pay my mortgage for the
And
month.
I
That's not.
you know, and
Girl.
I really don't like asking people
No,
for
that's me.
anything.
Anybody,
You know,
male or
because,
female.
You know, it's just people don't. What I found is that it is very rare that people give to just give.
Very rare.
Right?
Very.
It's somebody always expects something in return. Now, whether it's monetary or not, you know, I feel like at the end of the day, if that person doesn't bring some kind of value to me, whether it's spiritual, you know, financial, whatever, and if we can't come to terms and like kind of progress together, it's not worth it.
I love that you said, you know, like benefit you in some way, but you didn't mention just financially, you mentioned spiritually too. And I feel like a lot of men today feel like, oh, women just want you so you can take care of them. And that's really not the case.
Well, I can take care of myself.
Right.
Exactly.
A lot
So-
of women can take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In today's society, let's be real. I swear to you, it's a huge % of women, especially the women that I know, all take care of themselves.
Women
Nobody's depending
mostly
on a
taking
man
care of
like that.
everybody. Truth be told,
And the
it's
man,
a
they-
lot of women holding down the whole family, but don't nobody want to talk about that.
Oh, we gonna talk about it though. You know, we're
Nobody
gonna be
wants
out
to talk
loud
about
with
that.
it.
We can talk about no, I just feel I'm old school, right? And I was blessed that I was raised in a household where there was a woman and a man. You know, my
That is a
stepfather,
blessing.
right? And I had both. You know, my biological father, he wasn't as involved, but he was still there, you know. But my stepfather, I was with him since the age of 5, and he raised us as his own. And he was a strong Black man. So it's like my dad, he told me early, you're beautiful, you know, you have so much to offer. And basically, excuse my French, it was like you get dick from anywhere. but if you gonna get some dick, make it worth it.
Look,
Listen.
from
So,
anywhere.
and this is my dad telling me this, right?
A man.
Wendy, I want to address that because I tell people that all the time. It sounds like you and I have very similar upbringing. So same situation with me. I was not raised by my biological father, but I knew my dad. My dad loved me. I know that side of my family. I spent time with them. But I don't say my. If you ever hear me talk about my dad, I'm talking about my stepdaddy all the time.
That's me too, but I just wanted to clarify
Right,
for people
right,
that
'cause
didn't
people,
know.
they
Because
like,
I
huh?
say my dad passed away, they be like, "But your father."
Yeah.
My dad is the person that raised me.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Unfortunately, I lost my biological father when I was 16, and I just recently lost my dad. He was murdered in 2020. So I wanted to hit that because nowadays a lot of men, when you start talking like this and you talk about women's independence and stuff like that, they assume that you're getting these thoughts from your single independent mama. And I'm like, no, a man put this in my head. I had a father. Like, my father was in my life, and it's like the reason why I don't let a man call me past a certain hour. My daddy taught me that.
Yep. My dad was very involved in our lives, and as you heard me say earlier, I was a daddy's girl. So it was a lot of things that he instilled in me, and then just even the street smart part of it, like not getting played, and if you are, the type of things to look out, and you don't take care. He straight up said, don't no grown man get taken care of. If you are not a man if you can't take care of yourself. And so, of course, here I am. I'm like already, my dad said I'm a princess. I don't know who the hell you talking to. Type thing.
No, seriously.
Don't even come at me sideways.
I did not have
thing.
that. I didn't have that, unfortunately, because my dad passed away when I was 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My mom never remarried. So I didn't have that. But I had my grandpa, who was my step-grandpa, but I never knew he was not my biological grandpa. And he was really the only man that I had in my life. And he got killed on the job. He got, so I ain't gonna talk about all that. But even to this day, I get sad thinking about it and everything because he was always there for us. He raised my mom and her sisters as his own. He raised us as his own, grandchildren.
And I commend.
I love that. And I feel like we have some similar. It wasn't my dad, but that was my grandpa, and that was the male figure I had in my life who also, I had my grandma and my grandpa in the household, and he showed us, hey, I go to work and I provide, for the household.
And that's what I expect. That's my standard, right? Here's my thing. I commend a strong black man, and they don't get their praises as much as they should. Unfortunately, social media and society, when they put black men out there is, your dad's not around, or it's just a negative image of them. And I know plenty of men.
Us too.
That do what they're supposed to do and take care of their kids, very involved in their kids' life, and, are married, and, they're there, they're present. So I think that part of it sucks because it is a lot of men that do what they're supposed to do, and then of course you have the ones that don't,
and they're really the outliers, y'all. It's
right.
The majority of men do what they're supposed to do.
I can agree to that.
Yeah, so I just it's hard to find that standard now. I think I'm just like, I say I'm old school because I really believe like the man is the head of the household, the woman. Like, I still have that belief to a certain extent. Now, I don't believe that you're supposed to be taken advantage of. I'm not a yes sir, type of woman. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna let my man be the man.
Right.
And as it should be.
No,
I agree to that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
So, I mean, we can't say we want these things and then, you have that man. And that was one of my things. Like,
I just want to be a woman. I don't want to be a man in the relationship.
I'm tired of being the man.
It was things that I had to learn. I'm like, God, why are you not sending me this man? But I'm like a fucking mess. So here we go. Let me get myself together, okay? And I'm
right. And sometimes we do. We got to take a step back and look, okay, hey, you're a little bit maybe. I'll say this, like in my relationship, I've always been independent though, always, since high school, everything. But I had to learn that some of the things that I was doing was the man's role.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn, hey,
How
even
to
though
let
he
that-
ain't saying nothing, I can tell that it may bother him. Like, I should be doing this. Or let me just sit back, chill, let me do that. You know what I mean? So I had to learn to do that.
To let him do
To
what
let
he's
him
supposed to
lead.
do.
Like, he
Yeah.
taught me how to cook and stuff. Like, I'm not even going to lie. You know, he taught me a lot of great things in that relationship. But it took for me to realize as the woman, be a woman, not a man in the relationship. Be a woman. And so it took a lot for me to do that because I've been so independent. I was raised by a single mother. The women in my family are so dominant in the relationship. They lead. And that's what I was taught. That's what I knew. That's what I knew to be. So I was like, you know what? That's not what I want because I see it ain't working for y'all. Let me step back and, you know, I'm going to be the woman. I just want to be the woman
It's
in
a
the
give and
relationship.
take.
Yeah, it
It's a
definitely
give
is. And it's a
take. You know,
balance. It's a
balance.
balance.
And you have to find that balance and recognize when you're overstepping those bounds.
Yes.
You know, I've had a lot of growth in the last couple of years when it comes to relationships. I know myself now, and I know the things that I'm willing to accept, the things that I'm not willing to accept, and things that I know I still have to work on, you know, and it's a constant evolution type thing. But, yeah, I had to learn, like, independent doesn't mean that you take on male dominant roles, right?
Right.
And when I say that, I'm not saying like male, female, because you know you have relationships. Whatever your role is in that relationship, you have to stay true to it, right? But you still have to learn to balance
Right.
the two. And
So, where do
Yeah.
you prefer?
Lord.
She said she's from out east, right? And Wendy's also lived in Arizona.
I've lived in a couple of places.
And
so
she's here in Texas. So,
Yeah.
where the man at, Wendy?
Child, y'all got some special ones down here.
Man, listen.
Where the man at?
Wendy,
A
I'm happy you
man.
keeping it real,
It's
cause
some special ones. They go from one extreme to the other, and it's like, where did y'all come from? I don't know. It's just like a special breed
I
out here.
heard, and I'm starting to think it's true, being that, you know, I wasn't born. I was raised here. Y'all know, if you tell anybody I ain't from Dallas, I'll be ready to fight. But I've a lot of women that are not from the South have made the observation that it's a Southern thing. Southern men want to be taken care of. It's a mama's thing, like their mamas and their grandmas
Yeah.
and so it really is a
Hurt my
difference.
soul.
I really feel like men that are not from the South, they do tend to have a more
It's just a whole different swag.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
That's even talking to some of my
I'm
male
from here,
homeboys.
but I agree because my friend is one of my friends was from Michigan. She's like, what is this? When she came down here, she was like, I'm not used to these type of men. I'm like, well, what man? I thought they was all the same.
When I first came here, I was so optimistic. I was like, oh, this is a brand new start for me. You know, brand new state. I was just coming out of a relationship. I was like, oh, I'm going to come down here. My mom's like, oh, you're going to go down there. You're going to find a Southern man. He's going to take you, marry you, all this other stuff. I was like, the lies you tell. Okay, these men out here are weird.
Weird. All caps.
I just don't understand it. I literally had... I was like, all right, let me try one of the little dating apps. So just to get to know people, to look for some friends, you know, do some networking, whatever. And the one guy, and it's just like you sometimes can't even believe some of the shit that comes in your
For real.
inbox.
For real.
And he's like,
I had to block somebody recently.
girl, he was like, you want a submissive man. And I'm like, what? How do submissive and man even go in the same sentence? What are you talking about,
No,
sir?
I want to be submissive to my man. I want to be
I
submissive
said,
to
well,
you.
I don't even think those words go together.
Right.
No.
I don't.
No. And so it's either they overly cocky or they just weird.
No,
I don't even know how else to say it.
That's it. Those are that's
feel-
the spectrum.
I do feel like, though, that because I know a lot of great men and a lot of my guy friends, they're great men, you know, and they're in relationships. They do what they got to do. They take care of their kids and stuff. And they're not perfect, but they're great men at the
Well,
end
ain't
of the day.
nobody perfect.
Right.
So.
But I do feel like men have a communication problem. majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just say this, and I'm not picking sides. I'm just speaking what's real. But women, we tend to always want to be in control. And going back to what I said about learning to pretty much stay in your place. If you want to be dominant in your relationship, then do that. And if your man's okay with that and that works for y'all, cool. But not every person you come across is okay with that. You got to find somebody that's on the same page with you. And like I said, I had to learn to do that, though.
Well, interesting that you say that, because here's my thing. If you a grown-ass man and I'm taking care of you, my attitude towards you is going to be as such already, because I'm like, I'm taking care of kid, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that's not a situation that's good for me, because I know my attitude eventually will be like, nigga, you ain't doing nothing type thing. Like, I'm paying all the bills. I'm doing this, but you still want to be assertive and you know, be the
Play your
man.
role.
Right. So you still want me to sit back in public and shut up.
Right.
And I'm really running the house.
That's a hard situation for me.
And it's not for everybody.
And it's not for everybody. But what I find is it's a lot of relationships like that. And so it's like the women don't really have respect for the men, because you're not providing, or you're not, you know, doing whatever it is that they think that you should be doing for them. So, and I can't. I can't do it.
Real quick, I'm gonna just kind of go back on that, or follow on that lead there, because you did say it's the respect, right? Now, I feel like, you know, it is true when you are taking care of somebody or you're providing, and then they still want to be, oh, I'm the man of the house and you got to listen to me and do what I say. But what are you doing? You know, like I don't feel like, I feel like, okay, if you're in a relationship and something happens, they lose their job, whatever, and you're in a relationship, I feel like you should be able to, have his back. Do what you got to do, but don't just be on the couch for a whole 2 years not doing shit, and then you want to come tell me what to do and be in control of everything when you're really not in control of nothing.
Right.
You know, and I feel like a lot of women today do that because they want somebody. They just want to have a man, so they're...
So you can say that I have a man. Yeah, no, I'm not... like I said, I don't care what anybody says. At the end of the day, a relationship is hard already.
Yes.
And finances is probably one of the top reasons that relationships don't last, right? Finances and communication.
Finance is the main reason for divorce.
One of the main reasons, right? I think that you have to set a foundation, right? You have to have a foundation. You need to set a bar. Like, this is what I'm going to accept in this relationship. This is what I'm not going to accept. Now, can I take care of my man? Yeah, I'm going to take care of him however I see fit. But it can't be a one-sided thing, right? There has to be a balance. And it doesn't mean that the man has to make all this money or he has to make more money than you. He just has to contribute.
Right.
Okay? I'm not looking to be taken care of, but I need to know that if I need you, you have my back. And whether it be financial or what, but I'm not taking care of you. That's not my role. I don't want a stay-at-home husband. Okay?
So, listen, I hope y'all listened to everything that Wendy had to say today. I definitely enjoyed you. I really enjoyed you coming on. I love her work. Y'all go check her out, Art by Wendy. I'm going to put all the links down below. And it was my girl's birthday yesterday.
Yes,
so
happy belated birthday.
No, it's actually Tuesday.
Oh, you just celebrated
because it's a national holiday, March 15th.
Okay.
No, so we do the pregame all the way up to the birthday.
Okay. So happy early birthday.
Yes. Because, you know, it's like a whole week.
Go support my girl. Check out her
Celebrate
artwork.
Yourself all week, all month.
Yes.
All quarter.
All of it.
Yeah.
Always celebrate. We love you, women. Check her out. Support one another.
And it's okay to do that, women. It's all right.
Yes, it is.
That was another thing. When I first came here, and I was just like, these women ain't friendly. I was happy to see, like, a sister. I'm like, oh, hey, girl, you look so cute. And this girl was like... I'm like, why do we have to have
I
that
ain't like that.
attitude?
I'm not like that. If I see somebody, you're nice. I'm always nice and respectful
Yeah,
to other
it is
girls.
nothing wrong
no
with
jealousy.
complimenting each other.
No, stop being against each
kind
other.
to one another.
Stop being against each other.
Supporting each other. It's nothing wrong with that. I love it.
Well, thank you for coming on and supporting
Thank
us.
you.
I appreciate you
Thank
for taking
you.
time out of your birthday weekend festive to come kick it with us.
Absolutely.
Y'all support. Y'all go follow, like, subscribe, leave some comments down below, all that good stuff. And we out.
We are out. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, girl.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.